This is part one of our Lithuania adventure, and this small country surprised us. In this episode, we visit the capital city of Vilnius, a Cold War bunker, a hill with a difference, and a sand spit shared with Russia. So we've just arrived in Lithuania, another new country for us. We're in the border town of Zarasai, one of Lithuania's oldest towns, first mentioned way back in 1522. We walked along a 17-metre high wooden observation walkway which curves out over Lake Zarasai. The lake is nearly a perfect circle and often called the Eye of Zarasai. After a quick stop, we continued on in search of somewhere to camp. So it's that time of day, we're looking for a camping spot. It was a bit hard to start with because there was no internet, but it took a while for the internet to come on after we crossed into Lithuania, but now we've got it back again, so hopefully we'll find something soon. We eventually found a nice spot by a lake with a few sculptures and a nice sunset. Good morning and welcome to another day in Lithuania. We just spent a couple of days in that nice little spot by the lake just because we couldn't be bothered moving. Anyway, we're heading on today. We've got some exciting things lined up in Lithuania to check it out, so come along, it'll be fun. So just taking a drive into Vilnius, which is Lithuania's capital and major city. We don't usually do cities, but we were close, so we thought, why not? We arrived in Vilnius and walked up to the castle, which was built in the 1300s. Long ago, Grand Duke Žemaitija was hunting in the forests of what is now Vilnius. One night he slept on a hill and had a dream of a massive iron wolf, standing tall and howling so powerfully that its sound echoed across the land. When he told the story to a local pagan priest, the priest interpreted the dream as a sign. A mighty city should rise where the wolf had stood. A city that would be strong and daring and renowned. Inspired by this village, Žemaitija built his fortress atop the hill, and around it, Vilnius was born. It was super windy at the top, and it was not only blowing our hair around, it was also blowing people's babies around. At the heart of Vilnius is Cathedral Square, the city's central gathering place for centuries. Underneath the current cobblestones, archaeologists have uncovered medieval streets, building foundations, and artefacts, all remnants of its long and layered history. It's dominated by the striking white Vilnius Cathedral and its bell tower. The square's hosted markets, festivals, and even historic ceremonies over the years. We wandered aimlessly through the streets of Vilnius, no idea what we're looking for. As I've mentioned before, we're the worst tourists ever. We saw a quirky cafe, so stopped for a bite to eat. This brownie thing was absolutely delicious. Are they real? It's plastic. Plastic. Shops around here. There's a bow tie shop. Then we found a portal to other cities around the world, and it has a real-time video stream so you can see and wave to the people there. We didn't know where this place was, but little did we know we would soon be sitting in that red chair. There's a castle up there where I walked up earlier. It's a pretty chill city. Time of night, we're looking for somewhere to camp again, as usual, in the middle of nowhere. We drove through these forest trails trying to find a suitable camping spot, while at the same time trying not to get lost. Still looking for somewhere to camp. We aborted the forest camps. Too many bugs. Right, we've found our spot for the night. This is it. This is our view. Good morning. How's this for a place to wake up, eh? Look at this. Beautiful day. We came down this track. Someone said you needed four-wheel drive to get down here, but hopefully we'll be able to get back up okay. People in all the comments said you needed four-wheel drive to go down there. I don't quite understand why. Looks like we've finally got some really nice weather. It's going to be nice all week. The rest of Europe's having a heat wave. We're going to have about 22 degrees. So it hasn't reached the Baltic states yet, but I think on Wednesday it's going to be 29 degrees. We're going to struggle with that a bit after all the cold weather we've had. So this morning we're just driving across Lithuania towards the coast. We're going to stop at the Hill of Crosses, and there's a couple other things we're going to have a look at along the way. So come along, it'll be fun. This is the Hill of Crosses. Its story began after the 1831 uprising against Russian rule, when families of fallen rebels, unable to find their loved ones' graves, began planting crosses here as memorials. By the late 1800s, the tradition had taken root, and despite later Soviet attempts to bulldoze it, locals rebuilt it again and again.
And today there's over 100,000 crosses on the hill. It's become a tourist attraction and also showing the resilience of Lithuanians to oppression.
It kind of reminds me of the Alaska's signpost forest, another ever-growing collection of left by travellers from around the world. Someone from Australia, haven't seen anyone from New Zealand. After the Hill of Crosses, we continued on until we found the perfect campsite. absolutely stunning, and it's free. It's actually a designated campground in Lithuania. They got toilets. Put your tent up over there if you want. So we're just going to take a look at the Cold War Museum here in Lithuania. In rural Lithuania lie relics of a world poised on the brink of nuclear war. I just think it's amazing how we can walk around these places now. You know, once upon a time would have been top secret, wouldn't have been allowed anywhere near here. And now that the world's all at peace, we can walk in these places. These bunkers were built in the early 1960s and held the R-12 nuclear missiles, capable of striking Western Europe. Every tunnel, every blast door was built to withstand a nuclear strike, a reminder of a world on the brink.
Mind your head.
To get in, not only did you have to go through 4 heavy-duty doors, there's also a turnstile and a guard. So this is cool. Is this actually as it was?
This is as it was, yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. Inside, crews lived and worked in near-total isolation. Air filtration systems hummed constantly, and artificial light masked the passing of days. The concrete walls held more than weapons. They held the fear and uncertainty of an entire era. Imagine spending weeks down here, cut off from sunlight, waiting for orders that might never come.
So this room here was originally used for controlling the fueling of the rockets. There have been switch panels and goodness knows what else around here. Washing machine.
This aluminium alloy tank held nitrogen oxides for the R-12 reactor. These chemicals were highly reactive and toxic and posed a serious risk to the troops working nearby.
Make sure I can find my way back out.
People hard at work in here, sending Morse code. Operators reported psychological strain from living under artificial light and recycled air, sometimes experiencing time fog. This is a missile silo buried deep underground.
So this is the dome we're in.
It once held nuclear missiles, ready to launch at a moment's notice. It was heavily fortified to protect both the weapons and the crews.
Well, that is really cool in there. If you're ever in Lithuania, you must come here. It's very freaky though, very claustrophobic in there. And like a rabbit warren.
Just think, in times of high tension, you'd be locked in there, having to live there just in case you had to push the button to fire the rockets.
This is the bunker we were just in. Look, walk up on top of it. So this here is the top of the bunker that we saw in there, that we showed you when we were inside.
We both left with a lingering sense of eeriness, so we decided to visit the beach. And I had a little stalk fix. So we're just on the ferry going across to the Curonian Spit. So we are on the Curonian sand spit in Lithuania, and it's a 100-kilometre long spit, and half of it is owned by Russia. Beware, we weren't aware how much it's going to cost, but it was 25 euros for the ferry, and it's another 25 euros to get into the national park here. We're going to go do that now. Okay, we went to go and pay the fee. We were fully willing to pay the 25 euro fee, but when we got there, because we're a camper van, it's 50 euros.
Now that's 100 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, we're not going to pay 100 New Zealand dollars to go to the beach. We can do that at home for free. We're not paying it. That's how tight ass we are. But all wasn't lost. There were other beaches we could explore for free. And Mike even went in for a swim. We caught the ferry back to the mainland, and then we're on the hunt for a camping ground. Feels like we're in the middle of nowhere trying to find a camping spot. It's taken us deep into the woods. So we finally found a camping spot, and this is it. It's pretty nice. Sitting here watching the sunset. It's 9 p.m. and the sun's still quite high in the sky, isn't it? Just in this little car park here. A toilet even, and frogs out there. Listen to them. The next day we decided not to drive as it was too hot, and we spent the day at this great spot. We went for a swim with all the frogs to cool off and watched a group of windsurfers head out on the lagoon. Over in the distance are the massive sand dunes we refused to pay to see yesterday. Join us in the next episode where we continue to explore this incredible country.